The Army Painter is here. What is the Army Painter? The Army Painter is a system of paint, obviously, and other products to help you get your army painted and into the game quickly. So these paints were developed or designed to help you paint a lot of figures quickly. There's obviously paints, different types of paint, which we'll look at. There are tools such as files and epoxy putty and drills and glues and brushes and more. Primers, wet palettes, battlefield basing sets, which is landscaping elements for your bases. Just a whole myriad of product to get that army going. So let's take a closer look at the various elements of the Army Painter. The heart of the Army Painter product line are their paints. The Army Painter produces two paint lines, Warpaints Fanatic and Speed Paint. What's the difference? Warpaints Fanatic is a traditional acrylic miniature painting paint, just like what we're all used to. It features intense pigmentation, it's easy to use, features great coverage, and one of the things I really like about Warpaints Fanatic is how they list it on their color chart. They have what's called a flexible triad color system. That sounds confusing, but it's really not. What that basically means is on the color chart, they list their colors in groups or families of 6 colors so that when you pick a color, you can see what the highlight colors are for it and what the shadow colors are. This makes it really easy to pick out your colors and pick out your highlights and shadow colors. Really useful information, so this is great stuff. The Speed Paint is designed to get you gaming as fast as possible. So this is one coat and done. In other words, it's designed to leave your models with intense shading, vibrant color, and highlight effects in one application. Instant color and perfect contrast. They also make a whole set of metallics in the Warpaints Fanatic series. A couple of those are in the base set. You can see I put all the parts or all the components from the base set out here. I have 7 really nice colors, 2 metallics, a strong wash, strong tone wash, brush on primer, really cool little knight figure they include, and a free paintbrush. The Army Painter also produces a whole myriad of primers in different colors. You can see I have a can of it over here. So 2 different types of paint depending on how you want to get going. The Warpaints Fanatic are for us painters that really get in there and want to do super detail, and the Speed Paint gets you onto the game board as fast as possible. Before you can even pick up a paintbrush, usually you need to do prep work on your figure. Most figures come in kit form, so you have to cut the parts off, glue them together, clean the seam lines, prime it. If you don't have any tools, or if you're a beginner, the Army Painter has a great hobby tool kit. It contains everything you need to prep a figure. It includes nippers to cut the parts off the sprue. It includes a hobby knife to trim off any excess sprue. It has glue to glue it together. Has a file to take off any seam lines, pin vise in case you have to drill a hole, and a little extra thing here is some epoxy putty and a sculpting tool in case you want to change something or add something or modify the figure. I'd also recommend getting yourself an Army Painter self-healing cutting mat. This is a cutting mat that you can do all that work on and not damage the surface underneath. Most of these tools are sold separately in case you already have a few and you just want to buy certain things, but check out your figure kit. See what has to be done ahead of time, and if you don't have any tools, I recommend the Hobby Tool Kit. If you need certain tools, check out the individual items. The Army Painter has you covered tool-wise. The Army Painter produces a wide variety of paintbrushes and painting accessories to help you get your army on the game board fast. Their wet palettes come in 2 different sizes. The smaller wet palette has a great removable tray for storing your paintbrushes in between sessions. The larger wet palette also includes a dry palette, which is great for using with Speed Paint. They make brushes in every shape and size you can imagine. This mega brush set has just about everything you'll ever need, plus a nice Kolinsky sable brush. That's great. They make smaller paintbrush sets. You can see this is a 3-brush set called the Most Wanted Brushes. They make dry brushing brushes and various other things. So if you need brushes or accessories to help with your painting, check out the Army Painter. Last but not least, let's take a look at some basing materials from the Army Painter. This is the final touch for your figure. You want to add some color and texture and give a little context to the figure by adding these materials to the base. You glue them on with the basing glue. They come in different shapes and sizes and colors. I have grass tufts here. I have some snow, some grass, gravel, brush, and rocks. Just glue them to the base. Makes your figure stand out. So these materials come in different shapes and colors and sizes and in different quantities. Give your figures the finishing touch with Army Painter basing materials.